Hello, I am your host Dumont, and welcome to the Helios Bakugan toy review. I am so glad that you could join me for this one because this is gonna rock. So let's start right away. If you look at his marble form, not a whole lot to say. You could tell that he's definitely supposed to be mechanical. Viper Helios was the original form that he was, and I don't think they've made a toy yet, and they may not make a toy, and that Viper Helios becomes this one, which is just regular Helios, and this one is like a mechanical dragon. And you might say, oh, he's just a regular dragon. Well, that's why I'm doing this review. You're going to see that he is not just an ordinary dragon. He is really awesome. So, okay, once you pop him open, like I said, you could see that his designs are, there's bits and pieces on him that show that he's mechanical. For instance, you could see those green dots that, perhaps on the show, those would light up or something. His wings, once again, maybe that green dot right there would light up in the show. You can see that they are not just like feathers or something. They look metallic, not just in color, but almost the design are, straight machine-like parts to him. His name Helios is very, very cool, I think, because Helios obviously means sun, and to me that's very much like Lucifer, which is, aka Satan, and so Helios, I think, is very, very suiting for the name of the main villain of the show. And it's also very interesting that they gave him a Pyrus color, which is actually the color for the main character, which is Neo Dragonoid, or even the original Dragonoid. Those guys were Pyrus. So that's very interesting that they did that instead of giving him the obvious darkest choice. And they kind of did the same thing for Naga. And speaking of which, so here he is with Naga, the main villain from season 1. And obviously Helios, the main villain from season 2. They actually have quite a lot in common. The first being, which I already mentioned, is that despite being the main villain, and you would expect them to be in Darkest, they're actually, Naga is in Chaos, and Helios is in Pyrus. Those are the main colors, which is not what you'd expect from the main bad guy. And that's very cool. They're both obviously dragon type shapes. Their horn pops open in the same direction. Naga's is automatic, Helios is not. What's interesting about Helios is the horn is connected to his jaw, so if you move the horn, his jaw slightly moves, and if you move his jaw, his horn slightly moves. So that's kind of an interesting feature. The wings over here, they are done in the typical Bakugan, the new season 2 style, which they open at an angle instead of the the normal style over here. And I noticed that the feet for Helios, they kind of give him the normal typical dragonoid style feet, except they are much smaller. So Naga had kind of the unique feet where they pop out sideways, right? Other than that, let's see. Like I said, one of the biggest features is they both have the mandibular snout right here, where it splits into two. So like I said, they have a lot in common. Helios to me almost looks like an evolved version of Naga, actually. So that is very, very cool. I did say before that Naga is a skeletal dragon, whereas the Helios is a mechanical dragon. Okay, one more thing. I forgot to mention that Helios has a cutesy little tail right there. That it's not automatic, but he does have that you can make it come out and I guess that's kind of cool. But what really makes him stand out is, I think I've mentioned before, is Helios becomes Maxus Helios, and when he does that, he combines with 6 other Bakugan, and he becomes like this Constructicon in Transformer terms. He becomes like Devastator, which is they would call just a Gestalt, right? So that's really awesome. I'm not going to get all of them, so I can't show you that because I'm just not interested in it. But I will show you what he looks like with Clogger and Scraper, which is, here we go. Let's add him in right there. Basically, there is this peg like this, and it goes into a port on Helios right there. And he has another port right there. So you just shove it in like so. And it's very simple. Actually, I think in this form it's better to tuck his legs in, so I'll do that. And there you go. They have a tendency to tilt forward. I guess that's why he has that third hole in the back, and he connects over here, so that would stabilize them. When you just do just these two right here, they have a tendency to do this. Okay, as you can see, they just kind of stay there. So just to let you guys know, you know, but you know, as you can see, he still works, you know, just with these two. So this is just like his main 2 front feet, and like I said, what's missing is 4 other guys all over here. There's like 2 more legs, and there's like a torso, and then there's almost like a hip area. So that's what's missing. But even with just the 2, I think, you know, he stands relatively okay, and he looks very interesting. Just to do it is kind of a sight to see. You know, reminds me of like a cheerleader, basically. And so this is his more powerful form. Like I said, this is not his full Maxus Helios form, but you get the idea. So this is Clogger and Scraper on there, acting as legs. And here, let me lift him up so you guys also get an idea. You see, they connect very well. You know, it's not like they're gonna fall off real easily. So they're pretty decent connection right there. And right there, and you see, like I said, they do have a tendency to lean forward, so you just have to kind of angle it, you know, like that, and he'll be okay. So here they are separated. This one is Clogger and this one is Scraper. They look very similar, but in order to do the combined form, you need to get make sure you get the right ones. My Scraper is in the happens to be in the bronze color. This is the new limited edition color. If you guys are interested, you could check it out. Details right there. My conclusion: what do I think of Helios? I think Helios is an excellent main villain. I think they did a really good job. His name is awesome. I do like that he looks like an evolved version of Naga, which is great. Naga, I felt like, was just missing something to be that main villain. He's just missing that one thing. The toy is what I'm talking about. The toy felt a little lacking. It did look very cool, but whereas the Helios, I think, totally makes up for it. The one thing that Naga was lacking, Helios has, which is basically, in this case, it is his ability to combine with specific other Bakugan. It's his Gestalt form. That, to me, sets him in another plane. So I do think Helios is a very worthy main villain.